So let's come on down onto our mat and find a nice wide-legged child's pose. We'll bring the big toes to touch. We'll sit the hips back and just extend those arms forward and just allow the forehead to melt down towards the mat. Let's just begin to find our breath as we check in. Just paying any special attention to those parts of the body that might need a little extra care, a little extra love today. Just being mindful of those as we move through our practice. Begin to check in with the breath as we start to cultivate more of a Ujjayi breath. Sealing the mouth and begin to take nice long inhales and exhales through the nose. As you inhale, feel that back side of the body expand and open. And as you exhale, just feel your hips sink a little deeper. This is the most important time as we begin to just let everything else drop away. And just allow ourselves to focus here. Be intentional with our breath, with our thoughts, and with our presence. And slowly begin to roll it up nice and slow as we bring those knees closer together. Sitting it back onto the heels, we're going to reach those arms forward again into our child's pose. Settling those hips back. And this time on the inhale, let's go ahead and start to come on up onto all fours as we find our cow pose, lifting through the tailbone, dropping the belly, gazing forward. And then on the exhale, rounding the spine as we press back into our child's pose. Inhale as we begin to move up onto all fours and through into our cow. Exhale as we press back into our child's pose. Again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale up into that cow pose. This time curling the toes under. Exhale as we press up into downward facing dog. Begin the inhale as you lower the knees to the mat, finding that cow pose. Dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone and the gaze. Exhale, pressing back into down dog. One more time. Inhale as we drop the knees. Lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, and exhale into our down dog. Go ahead and begin to pedal out the heels. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open up the feet as wide as your mat. Bring those feet in a little closer so your down dog's a little shorter. And then when you're ready, reaching that right arm across to that left shin, grabbing hold of the outside of the shin. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, just a baby twist as you twist the chest underneath that left armpit, maybe looking under the armpit. And when you're ready, releasing that right hand down, placing it down, finding even weight through the feet. And then now reaching that left hand across to the outside of the right shin. Inhale, lengthen first, and then exhale as you rotate underneath the right armpit. Keep pressing back through the right hand. And then releasing, setting that left hand down. Go ahead and step that left foot to the center of the mat. Inhale as you sweep your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. And then exhale as we step that foot through between the hands and gently drop that left knee to the floor. Finding our low lunge, inhale, sweep the arms up alongside the ears. As we sink into the hips, see if you can activate or really kind of find some toning and some strength in that back left glute, just to protect through the low back. And when you're ready, on your exhale, let's take a twist to the right as we reach the right arm back, left arm forward, and feel as though someone's just pulling through the fingertips. So we're just giving a little twist to this lunge. Drawing the belly in. And on your next exhale, let's drop the left hand to the mat, lift the left knee off the floor, and find revolving lunge as we reach up through the right fingertips. Find some strength through that back left leg. And maybe just a little lean back. Find that twist through the upper back. And when you're ready, releasing your hand back down to the mat. Stepping that right foot back to meet the left in plank. Take an inhale. Exhale as you lower to kneeling plank. And then lower yourself all the way to the floor. Press into the tops of the feet. Inhale to baby cobra. Exhale and release. Inhale to kneeling plank. Curl the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog as we lift the hips. Let's go ahead and step that right foot to the center of the mat. Inhale, sweep that left leg to three-legged dog. And exhale as we step it through between the hands. Dropping that right knee down. Inhale as we sweep the arms to low lunge. Feel that right glute tone up. As we draw that pubic bone up towards the belly button. Find a little bit of that lower core, lower abdominal region. And on your next exhale, go ahead and twist to the left, reaching the left arm back, right arm forward, still moving into that lunge. Reach those fingertips to the opposite ends of the mat. And on your exhale, drop the right hand to the mat, lifting the right knee. Go ahead and take a little revolving twist to the left as we reach up through those left fingertips, press into that right hand, and really activate that back leg. And release the hand to the mat. Stepping back to find your plank, take an inhale, exhale, and lower to kneeling plank. And all the way to the mat. Inhale to your baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale to kneeling plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Finding the breath. Bending the knees, looking forward to the top of the mat. And just begin to stroll forward with little baby steps. As we come to the top of our mat, hip distance apart with those feet, and then find our forward fold. On the inhale, let's come up halfway, fingertips on shins, exhale and fold. Again, inhale halfway, lengthen the spine, exhale and fold. One last time, inhale halfway, exhale and fold. Inhale as we bend into the knees, begin to roll it up the spine, sweeping the arms up, palms face in towards one another. And then exhale as we release the hands down to the sides. Taking the hands behind the back, maybe stepping a little wider for some balance. Little soft bend in the knees, interlace those hands, Take an inhale as we begin to press the knuckles back and down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening up through the chest, maybe a slight gaze up. Holding it here, or on your next exhale, bending the knees even more and forward fold. Allowing those arms to come over any amount. If you need a strap or a towel, make sure you use those. And when you're ready, releasing the hands to the low back. Release the fingertips down to the floor. Inhale up halfway. Maybe you leave the fingertips on the floor this time. Maybe you're finding a little bit more length in the back of the legs. Exhale and fold. Inhale as we begin to roll up, sweeping the arms up, palms face one another. Exhale as we bring those hands down to Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's take it through one sun salutation as we inhale, sweep the arms up, palms face one another. Exhale as the palms come together and we swan dive forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands. Let's go ahead and step back to high plank. Take an inhale and exhale. Maybe you're lowering from high plank into chaturanga, or you're coming all the way to the floor, finding cobra, or maybe working into a variation of up dog, leaving the knees on the floor but lifting the hips, shoulders out of the ears. And then exhale, curl the toes under, find your downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and bend those knees, looking to the top of the mat, and then start to stroll forward. You can take little steps or two big steps, landing at the top of the mat in your forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, begin to roll it up the spine, sweeping those arms all the way up, palms face one another. And exhale, hands down to Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale and swan dive forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, let's go ahead and step the left foot back into warrior one. So we plant the heel, back toes at 45 degrees, bending into that front knee, sweep it up to high warrior one. Finding some strength in the legs, shoulders out of the ears. Let's go ahead and begin to straighten through that front leg. Take those hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale as you press the knuckles down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then exhale over, leading with the chest into a one-sided forward fold, Parsva Uttanasana. So a little bit of a balance challenge here as you reach the heart center down towards the top of the foot. Spread those right toes, find some grounding in the feet, and see if you can square that left hip forward, keeping a little bend in that front knee. On your next inhale, come all the way up, and then go ahead and find warrior two as we open up our stance. Right toes point forward, left toes to the side of the mat, sinking into that right knee. So I'm going to work in this way today just so you can see me and you don't have to try to crank your necks around to see if I was leaning on the other side. So hopefully you can all see nice and easy from this position. And then when you're ready, go ahead and turn those right toes to the long edge of your mat. So you should be seeing the back of me. From here, bring the hands to the waist. Inhale as you squeeze those shoulders and elbows together. Exhale into your forward fold, coming all the way over, allowing the crown of the head to release to the floor. Maybe walking those hands back in line with the heels, high on the fingertips or even flat palms. See if you can squeeze those elbows together so they're pointing towards the back of the room. And when you're ready, inhale up halfway, lift yourself long through the spine. And then exhale as we start to turn towards the back of the mat, finding our lunge towards the back edge of our mat this time. Stepping that back foot in, right foot in, pressing the right heel down, toes at 45 degrees, bending into that left knee, sweep up to find your warrior one. Make your adjustments as you need to. We can move around in yoga. We can find what works. If we need to adjust our stance, make it longer, maybe open it up a little bit wider. And when you're ready, go ahead, start to straighten through that front leg. Taking those hands behind, interlace the fingers. Inhale as we press the knuckles down, straighten through those elbows as much as you can. Open the chest. Exhale into your forward fold. Now you can just stay upright if that's better for you in terms of your balance. Looking down towards the top of that left foot. If you want to release the head a little bit, you can look back towards the back heel, letting those arms fall over any amount. And on your next inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale as we find warrior two. Opening up the stance a little wider, bending into that left knee, and reaching through those fingertips. Let's go ahead and turn those left toes to face the long edge of the mat. And then from here, bringing the hands to the hips. Inhale, let's squeeze those elbows together. Exhale with a long spine as we forward fold, keeping the hands on the hips and keep squeezing those elbows together. See if you can release the tension in the neck. Just allow the crown of the head to fall towards the floor. Finding your breath. And then releasing the fingertips to the floor. Inhale up halfway, lengthen. This time exhale as we spin back towards the top of our mat, finding our lunge. Planting the hands, go ahead and step the right foot back to meet the left in your high plank. Inhale, your choice to flow. Exhale, chaturanga maybe, or all the way to the floor, finding cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog, or if you need a rest, find child's pose. This is your chance here to tune back in with that breath. We're going to try something a little different here if you choose to play. If not, that's fine as well. We are going to bend the knees, look forward to the top of the mat, and you can practice hopping if you like, but you need to land softly. So let's get some spring in those legs if you're going to try it. Activate your core, and then a little hop forward as you land, feet hip distance apart, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, start to roll up the spine. Sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands back down to mountain pose, Tadasana. Let's go ahead and bring those arms overhead, and we're simply just going to grab opposite elbows, almost like you're creating a little square above your head. Perfect. I'm just going to face you here so you can see me. Open up the feet a little wider if you need some stability. Inhale. And as we exhale, go ahead and bend over towards the right side. So taking a little bend to the right, feeling that opening on the left side of the body. Couple of breaths here. And on your next inhale, come up through center. Exhale as we bend over to the left. Draw that lower belly up and in. And inhale up to center. Exhale and release those hands down to your sides. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Palms face one another. Exhale as the palms come together and we swan dive. Inhale up halfway. Exhale and fold. Go ahead and step that left leg back into warrior one as we plant the heel down. Inhale as we sweep up, bending into that front knee, reaching up through those fingertips. Find some nice strong legs. And then exhale, hands come behind, interlace the fingers as we begin to straighten through the front leg. Inhale and forward fold. See if you can lengthen the spine a little longer. See if you can pull that left hip a little more forward. Good. Inhale as we come all the way up. Exhale as we find warrior two. Bending into the front knee, reaching through those fingertips. Begin to straighten through that right leg, and then taking that back of the hand to the shin as we turn and open into triangle pose. So see if you can also balance the fingertips on the shin, but if you can, slide the back of the hand to the inner shin. And reach up through those left fingertips. Nice. Good. Now think about lengthening that right side of the body as well. You may need to come out of it just a little. One more breath. Let's go ahead and bend into that right knee. You can place the forearm on the thigh or reach the fingertips down to the inside of the foot and find side angle. If you want to go ahead and find extended side angle, let's reach that top arm over the ear and a little spin of that pinky finger down towards the floor. And on the inhale, let's come all the way up to warrior two and turn those right toes to face the long edge of the mat. Take the hands to the waist. Inhale, exhale, and forward fold. Go ahead, release the hands, taking peace fingers around the big toes. Take a little bend in the knees. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then go ahead and exhale as you forward fold, straightening the legs out as much as you need to. Notice the spine. You want to cultivate a long spine as long as you can. Good. Nice. And when you're ready, releasing the fingertips to the floor. Inhale up halfway. Exhale as we spin towards the back of the mat. Finding warrior one legs. Back heel presses down. 45 degrees with those back toes and sweep up to find your warrior one. Bending into that left knee, pressing into that outer edge of the back foot. Nice strong warrior one legs. When you're ready, hands come behind. Interlace the fingers, straightening through the front leg. Inhale, exhale, and swan dive over top of that left leg. Maybe the shoulders are starting to feel a little looser. Maybe finding a little more movement, a little more range of motion. Inhale, press into the feet to rise all the way up. Exhale as we find warrior two. Opening up your stance, bending into that left knee. Let's go ahead and begin to straighten the left leg. Sliding that left hand down to the inner shin and turn open the chest, reaching the right fingertips up. Triangle pose. Let's look to the top of that left foot. Bend into the knee. You can either place the forearm on the thigh or fingertips down to the inner foot. And then turning to open to our extended side angle. If you want to go and reach that top arm a little bit more towards the front of the room. And maybe a little spin of that pinky finger down towards the floor. And when you're ready, inhale, press through the feet to come up to warrior two. And straightening the legs, turning those left toes towards the long edge of your mat. From here, hands come to the waist. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. This time, begin to walk your hands out in front of you like you're doing downward dog. So placing the palms on the floor, just allow your chest to release and melt towards the floor. Good work. Nice. Now press those hips back a little bit. Keep the weight of the hips between the heels. Mandy, just press your hips back just a little bit more. Good. There you go. Nice, nice. Good. And then when you're ready, let's bring the hands under the shoulders. Inhale up halfway and exhale as we turn to lunge towards the top of our mat. Planting our hands. Let's step back to our plank. Take an inhale. And as we exhale, your choice to flow. Maybe you're finding chaturanga and then coming through into your up dog. Shoulders out of the ears. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Let's take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Let's lower down onto the knees and the shins. Bringing those knees together, releasing the tops of the feet, and then sitting it back onto the heels. If this doesn't work for you with your knees, you can always sit on a block or just come cross-legged. It's going to take a gentle spinal twist. So we're going to bring that right arm to the outside of the left thigh. And just bring our fingertips behind us. Take an inhale, lengthen, and then exhale as we begin to twist through the belly, through the low back. You can add the gaze or you just can continue to look forward. And then slowly releasing, switching over, left hand to the right thigh, right fingertips propped up behind us. Inhale and lengthen. Keep that length as we exhale and twist. Finding the breath. That elusive breath sometimes, right? Concentration sometimes overrides that at any time, not just during yoga. And then beginning to slowly unwind. Good. And then making our way back onto all fours. Curling the toes under. Go ahead, find your downward facing dog. Pedal the heels out a little bit. Might feel a little stiff from being in that position. And when you're ready, let's inhale as we ripple forward into our high plank. And then go ahead and exhale as we lower down to the mat. Working into locust pose. I want you to go ahead and pick up your legs one at a time and kind of reach them back a little further so you can feel some nice length through the hips, the front of the hips. And then just go ahead and rest your nose and your forehead on the mat, reaching your arms back along your sides, palms facing up. And on your inhale, we're going to begin to lift the head, the neck, and the chest off the mat, reaching back through those fingertips as we spin those pinkies up towards the ceiling just a little bit. And if you like, you can go ahead and begin to lift the legs off the floor as well into full locust position. See if you can roll those shoulders back, squeezing those shoulder blades a little bit together. Continue to breathe. And when you're ready, exhale, bringing those hands underneath the forehead as you just allow the self to relax the forehead down. Maybe bending the knees. Just kind of windshield wiper washing those legs from side to side. And when you're ready, go ahead and release those legs back down. Again, maybe picking them up and kind of reaching them back so you can really find some length in the front of the hips again. And then this time, reaching those arms back, maybe interlacing the fingers this time. And on the inhale, go ahead, start to pick up the head, the neck, and the chest as you begin to reach those knuckles back, squeezing those shoulder blades together, rounding those shoulders back and open, and then maybe begin to lift the legs, finding the breath. The gaze should be forward and slightly down, so we create some length in the back of the neck as well. And when you're ready, exhale and release everything. Again, taking those hands, stacking them to rest the forehead, bending the knees. Go ahead, take a little windshield wiper wash. And then extending those legs back down onto the mat. Go ahead and slide those hands under the shoulders, gently lifting yourself up to all fours. And then taking a nice wide child's pose as we sit it back. This time, maybe stacking the hands under the head, or go ahead, release the forehead to the mat and just let those arms wrap around the sides of the body. Palms face up. Again, inhale, feel that inhale expand the back side of the body, those back ribs and low back. Exhale as you sink those hips back a little deeper towards the heels. Feels good. And slowly bringing the hands under the shoulders as we begin to roll it up the spine. Head will be the last thing to come up. We're going to take it over into one hip and just swing those legs forward. We're going to start with the right leg extended out in front of us, and we're going to draw that left foot up to the inner thigh, making sure that we square those hips forward. We're going to take a little head to knee pose, but with a little bit of an open twist. So from here, we're going to reach towards that right foot, maybe grabbing hold. You can always bend the knee to do this, grabbing hold of the inner arch or the top part of the foot. From here, let's bring the left hand to the low back, to the sacrum. Take an inhale and lengthen. And as we exhale, begin to open to the left and then maybe leaning back just a little bit as we take that open twist. Rolling that left shoulder back and down. And on the inhale, let's square the chest back over, maybe reaching the left hand to the foot as well as we exhale and bow over top of that right leg. Any amount. You can always bring the hands down to either side of the leg if you like. And then slowly inhale as we come all the way up to seated. Let's switch sides, bringing that left leg forward and bringing that right foot to the inner thigh. And if this doesn't work for you, if this is too much on the knee, you can always slide that foot down a little lower. There's no danger here in really pushing it to that into the knee or anything like that, because we're not in a weight-bearing position. So whatever works. Again, if you need to bend that knee, you can do so. We're going to reach that right hand to the inside of that, left hand to the inside of the left foot. Right hand to that sacrum, low back. Inhale, let's lengthen the spine first. And then exhale as we begin to twist to the right, opening the chest to the right, and then maybe even leaning back just a little, rolling that right shoulder back and down. And on your next inhale, let's go ahead and rotate back towards the front, squaring the chest over top of that leg as we exhale reaching both hands towards that left foot, or just allowing the hands to drop to the floor. Maybe inhale, lengthen a little bit as you come up and out of it, and exhale as you keep that length and bow forward. When you're ready, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, release both legs forward. Go ahead and shake those legs out. And then slowly making your way down onto your back. Bringing those feet in towards the sit bones. Feet are about hip distance apart. And we're going to take it into a little bridge pose flow. On your inhale, let's go ahead and begin to lift the arms back overhead as we lift the hips off the floor into bridge. And then exhale as you bring the hands back down and release the back onto the floor. Again, inhale, reach the arms, lift the hips. Pressing through the feet. Exhale as we release the arms and release the spine back down. One more time. Inhale. Press into the feet, squeeze the glutes to lift the hips, and exhale, arms down and spine down. Good. Go ahead and just take the feet a little wider, maybe taking a couple windshield wiper washes gently and slowly from side to side. And when you're ready, holding it in the center, let's go ahead and draw that right knee into the chest and extend that left leg all the way out. And then slowly taking that right knee and dropping it over to the left side as we roll onto that left hip for a gentle spinal twist. See if you can work that right shoulder back down onto the mat. And you can continue to just keep the eyes up towards the ceiling, or if you want to go ahead and drop the chin towards that right shoulder, adding in that cervical spine to get a full spinal twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you soften into that twist. And then slowly coming back out of it. Let's go ahead, draw that left knee into the chest, extend that right leg all the way out. And then go ahead and drop that left knee over to the right as we roll onto that right hip. Reach that left arm out to the side. See if you can work that left shoulder back down. Adding in that neck with a little gaze over that left shoulder if that works for you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you twist. And then when you're ready, unwinding, coming back to center, giving those knees one last hug in towards the chest, maybe a little rock and roll from side to side, a little massage on that low back. And when you're ready, go ahead and find your Shavasana as we extend those legs all the way out, making this pose as big as you need it to be. Take a big inhale through the nose and just go ahead and sigh it out. And just allow yourself to come back to just a normal breathing pattern, no effort. letting it happen naturally. Just checking in with the body as we do a little scan from the crown of the head, working down towards the toes. Melting any tension away that's left. Softening around the eyes and the mouth. Slowly begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe taking a full body stretch as we reach the arms back overhead. Toes reach in one direction, fingertips in the other. And on your exhale, open the mouth and sigh, softening the body. One at a time, let's draw those knees in towards the chest, giving ourselves one last hug as we wrap those arms around the knees. And then just rolling over to one side, keeping those knees in towards the chest. Just allow yourself to rest your head on that bottom arm. And when you feel completely comfortable and ready, using those arms with as little effort as possible to help yourself up to seated. And just crossing the legs. Maybe giving those shoulders a couple of circles back. And sitting it up nice and tall. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Palms come together as we exhale down to heart center. One more big inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Namaste. Thank you so much for bringing your energy and yourselves to class today. And thank you. Appreciate it.